Hi, this is Dreama, and today we are doing a client reading, and it is a reading, it's a relationship love reading, and we will be using 7 cards. Now, the client actually had 2 people in mind, and they wanted to concentrate on what they call person E, so that's what we're going to be doing in this reading. And we'll be using 7 cards, and I've already shuffled these quite a bit before I turned the camera on, just to save a little time. But we're also going to be using the Tarot of Dreams. It's actually one of my favorite decks. I connect really well with this deck. And it's just one that I like to use quite often. Okay. Alrighty, there's our 7 cards. Okay. Now, the way this is going to work is the cards on this side, these 3 cards will represent the client. These 3 cards will represent the person E. And the center card is the outcome card, okay? And this reading's actually going to show us a little bit about what's going on within the relationship, what the other person is thinking, feeling, and also the client, okay? And I'm going to start with the client on this side. And we have the 8 of Wands, okay? And we have the 8 of Cups. And then we have the High Priestess. All right, I want to talk first about the 8 of Wands. Now remember, this is in regards to the client. And what I'm getting from this card is that it looks like what's going on right now for the client actually is quite a bit. There's a lot of activity going on, almost as if things are kind of speeding away up into the sky, and the client is not able to get a handle on what is really going on. A lot of indecision, okay? And a lot of things that they're concerned may actually slip away, okay? And that's causing some stress for the client, okay? Next, we have the 8 of Cups. Now, this is interesting. I'm sure you can probably see that this person is walking up some steps that kind of go up into the sky. And what that tells me is right now that the client is feeling a need to move on, a need to go forward. But this person has stopped after a couple of steps. So what that tells me is that, right now the client, wants to move forward, but for some reason there's something causing them to hesitate. Within this relationship, there's something holding them back and not really allowing them to actually go forward with the relationship, okay? All right, next I want to talk about the Priestess. Now, what I'm getting from this, okay, is that, I'm not sure if you can see, but she's kind of looking up. And what that tells me is that the client right now is seeking some sort of wisdom, some sort of connection spiritually with this other person. And they're almost as if they're searching and reaching, but yet they're still slightly hesitant, okay, because of something that's going on. And they're worried that things may get away from them and they may lose this chance that they wanted, okay? All right, next we're going to move to the other person, person E. Okay, and we have the Page of Swords, and we have the Ace of Wands, and then lastly, we have the Queen of Cups. Now, first I want to talk about the Page of Swords. Now, this is an interesting card because, what I'm getting from this card, basically that there are some secrets that are going on that this person is keeping from the client. And, I'm not sure exactly what those secrets are, but there's definitely something that they're not telling the client. And it's something that is really bothering them. That's what I'm getting. It's really bothering this person that they're not able to share these secrets with the client. It's something has happened to them in their youth. That's what I'm getting. Something's happened to this person in their youth, and they're not able to share that with the client. And I'm kind of getting that they're actually not able to share that with anyone. And whatever this is, it's causing them to be kind of hesitant, okay? All right, next we have the Ace of Wands. Now, this is interesting because what I'm getting from this card, now remember this is about the other person, not the client, is that there's something going on with them. And it has something to do with this secret, and I think it has something to do with family. That's kind of what I'm getting from it. And that is putting a burden on them moving any further with this relationship. They may be moving forward physically, but there's some kind of problem with the spiritual and emotional connection. And this person is afraid because of something that has happened to them in the past. It is causing them to hesitate, and it's actually becoming a burden to them. Okay? Next, we have the Queen of Cups. Now, this actually is a really powerful card. And what I'm getting from this card is that it looks as though this person really does have a lot of love in their heart. And they also want to be successful and happy, and it is their desire to have everything from this relationship that they can. But for some reason, there's still this fear that is holding them back. But down deep, that is clearly what they want. They want happiness and a connection to the client. And lastly, we have the overall card. Okay? And that is the Queen of Wands. Now, this, again, is a very powerful card. And it's a card that, to me, it's a card about being loving and honorable and things like that. So the outcome, for what I'm getting of this relationship, is once this person kind of gets past this fear and the client gets past their fear, the overall outcome for the relationship is very good. And the reason I say that is because I really think there's a lot of love there. And this person actually wants a loving and good relationship with this person down deep. You know, but it's also, there's also all these problems. But this card is a very strong card. So it tells me that this relationship will become a very strong and powerful relationship. As long as these two obstacles are overcome, the outcome is good. And there will be a very strong spiritual and emotional connection with these two people. Okay? And I believe that's something that the client wants. I really do. Okay, that does conclude my reading for today. And I'd like to thank everyone for joining me. And I do hope to see you all again.